Okay, good evening. We're back with First Samuel chapter 22. David at the cave of Adullam. So David left Gath and escaped to the cave of Adullam. Soon his brothers and other relatives joined him there. Then others began coming, men who were in trouble or in debt or who were just disconnected, until David was the leader of about 400 men. Later, David went to Mespah in Moab, where he asked the king, "Would you let me would you let my father and mother live here under royal protection until I know what God is going to do for me?" The king agreed, and David's parents stayed in Moab while David was living in his stronghold. One day the prophet Gad told David, "Leave the stronghold and return to the land of Judah." So David went to the forest of Hirath. The news of his arrival in Judah soon reached Saul. At the time, the king was sitting beneath a tamarisk tree. Oh, sorry, gotta move the thing. Beneath a tamarisk tree on the hill at Gibeah, holding his spear and surrounded by his officers. "Listen here, you men of Benjamin," Saul shouted when he heard the news. "Has David promised you fields and vineyards? Has he promised to make you commanders in his army? Is that why you have conspired against me? For not one of you has ever told me that my son is now on David's side. You're not even sorry for me. Think of it, my own son encouraging David to try and kill me." Then Doeg, the Edomite, who was standing there with Saul's men, spoke up. "When I was at Nob," he said, "I saw David talking to Ahimelech the priest. Ahimelech consulted the Lord to find out what David should do. Then he gave David food and the sword of Goliath the Philistine." The slaughter of the priests. Oh. King Saul immediately sent for Ahimelech, sorry, I can't pronounce that, and all his family who served as priests at Nob. When they arrived, Saul shouted at him, "Listen to me, you son of Antob." Ugh. "What is it, my king?" Ahimelech asked. "Why have you and David conspired against me?" Saul demanded. "Why did you give him food and a sword? Why have you inquired of God for him? Why did you encourage him to revolt against me and to come here and attack me?" "But sir," Ahimelech replied, "is there anyone among all your servants who is as faithful as David, your son-in-law? Why is he the captain of your bodyguard and highly honored member of your household? This is certainly not the first time I had consulted God for him. Please don't accuse me and my family in this matter, for I knew nothing of any plot against you. You will surely die, Ahimelech, along with your entire family," the king shouted, and he ordered his bodyguards, "Kill the priests of the Lord, for they are allies and conspirators with David. They knew he was running from me, but they didn't tell me." But Saul's men refused to kill the Lord's priests. Then the king said to Doeg, "You do it." So Doeg turned on them and killed them, 85 priests, oh wow, in all, and all still wearing their priestly tunics. Then he went to Nob, the city of the priests, and killed the priests' families, men and children, all, and babies, and all the cattle, donkeys, and sheep. Only Abiathar, one of the sons of Ahimelech, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, escaped and fled to David. When he told David that Saul had killed the priests of the Lord, David explained, "I knew it. When I saw Doeg there that day, I knew he would tell Saul. Now I have caused the death of all your father's family. Stay here with me, and I will protect you with my own life, for the same person wants to kill us both." 1 Samuel chapter 23. David protects the town of Keilah. One day, news came to David that the Philistines were at Keilah stealing grain from the threshing floors. David asked the Lord, "Should I go and attack them?" "Yes, and go and save Keilah," the Lord told him. But David's men said, "We're afraid even here in Judah. We certainly don't want to go to Keilah to fight the whole Philistine army." So David asked the Lord again, and again the Lord replied, "Go down to Keilah, for I will help you conquer the Philistines." So David and his men went to Keilah. They slaughtered the Philistines and took all their livestock and rescued the people of Keilah. Abiathar the priest went to Keilah with David, taking the ephod with him to get answers for David from the Lord. Saul learned that David was at Keilah. "Good," he explained. "We've got him now. God has handed him over to me, for he has trapped himself in a walled city." So Saul mobilized his entire army to march to Keilah and attack David and his men, but David learned of Saul's plan and told Abiathar the priest to bring the ephod and to ask the Lord what he should do. And David prayed, O Lord, God of Israel, I have heard that Saul was planning to come and destroy Keilah because I am here. With all the men of Keilah, surrender me to him, and will Saul actually come as I have heard? O Lord, God of Israel, please tell me. And the Lord said, He will come. Again, David asked, Will these men of Keilah really betray me and my men to Saul? And the Lord replied, Yes, they will betray you. David hides in the wilderness. So David and his men, about 600 of them now, left Keilah and began roaming the countryside. Word soon reached Saul that David had escaped, so he didn't go to Keilah after all. David now stayed in the strongholds of the wilderness and in the hill country of Ziph. Saul hunted him down day after day, but God didn't let him be found. One day near Horesh, David received the news that Saul was on his way to Ziph to search for him and kill him. Jonathan went to find David and encouraged him to stay strong in his faith in God. Don't be afraid, Jonathan reassured him. My father will never find you. You are going to be the king of Israel, and I will be next to you, as my father is well aware. So the two of them renewed their covenant of friendship before the Lord. Then Jonathan returned home while David stayed at Horesh. But now the men of Ziph went to Saul in Gibeah and betrayed Daniel to him. We know where David is hiding, they said. He is in the strongholds of Horesh on the hill of Hekelah, which is in the southern part of Jeshimon. Come down whenever you're ready, O king, and we will catch him and hand him over to you. The Lord bless you, Saul said. At last, someone is concerned about me. So go and check again to be sure of where he is staying and who has seen him there, for I know that he is very crafty. Discover his hiding places and come back with more definite report. Then I'll go with you, and if he is in the area at all, I'll track him down, even if I have to search every hiding place in Judah. So the men of Ziph returned home ahead of Saul. Meanwhile, David and his men had moved into the wilderness of Moan in the Arabah Valley south of Jeshimon. When David heard that Saul and his men were searching for him, he went even further into the wilderness to the great rock, and he remained there in the wilderness of Moan. But Saul kept after him. He and David were now on opposing sides of the mountain. Just as Saul and his men began to close in on David and his men, an urgent message reached Saul that the Philistines were raiding Israel again. So Saul quit the chase and returned to fight the Philistines. Ever since that time, the place where David was camped has been called the Rock of Escape. David then went to live in the strongholds of En-Gedi. Okay, and with that, I'll be back tomorrow with chapter 24.